like Kory could take us to minicamp because that's where Kory's been the last couple days. How was yesterday compared to the days before?
First off, yesterday was hot as hell. Like, super hot. Like, as I wrote it, just posted a story this morning on woodwardsports.com, I was looking for the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid because I was parched. But one thing that I noticed yesterday from just watching it was Jared Goff was a guy that I was just really looking at from the 7-on-7 drills when they're going from the midfield and the goal line. Started out, I ain't going to front. First off, I want to set the stage. They are not hitting. They're just going through their, just going through the motions, basically, running through their drills. So it's no pressure right now. With that being said, he looked kind of shaky to start the day. A little bit inaccurate, but I'm kind of attribute that to mainly chemistry issues. They're all these guys most of these guys have never played together. So they're trying to get their chemistry together and, see everybody likes, where their best spots. But one thing I did notice over the past couple of days is the chemistry between him and Tyrell Williams and TJ Hockenson is starting to pick up, especially him and Hockenson. It's kind of like they have some kind of thing going on, and he's been delivering some.
Oh, look at that man right there.
Man. Oh, he's a
with the flow too. Look at that.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
That's a big dude. But Goff, he was just slinging it. He threw the pass he threw to DeAndre Swift yesterday. I wish that I could have recorded it, but I couldn't. They got a blackout period. He put that ball in the corner of the end zone where only DeAndre Swift could get it, and it was like a sweet one-hand grab with Tavai just draped all over him. He threw some tight windows yesterday. One pass to Williams where I gotta say, Tracy Walker ain't like that touchdown. and there, him and Goff kind of played around a little bit in the end zone because he went and tackled Williams playfully. It was, it was a little lighthearted moment, but Goff went through as the day went on. Goff went through his progressions. You start to see him getting more comfortable with where his receivers were, and I like what I'm seeing out of him. Again, no pads, no pressure, nobody breathing down his neck, but Goff looks good, man. I can't lie. Hopefully that translates over to the onto the field product. But I just hope that fans are patient with him this season because, again, these guys haven't played together. This is like basically a whole new team, whole new regime. So just give it time. But fans should have faith in Goff.
Yeah, what you said about Hockenson and Goff having a good connection. Hockenson was actually getting interviewed, I believe it was 2 days ago, and here's what he had to say about Jared Goff. Jared's my dog. He's a great dude. I threw with him a couple times in the offseason out in L.A., and that guy just has a different mentality. I've been excited to have him, to see his throws that he made on 7-on-7, to see what kind of person he is, how he sees the game. There's nothing like it. I'm really excited to have him as my quarterback.
That's great.
That's a great quote. And, I don't always want to bring up Stafford in these conversations, but whenever you have somebody like that isn't like falling back on the past and looking to the future and being positive about that, I love that Hawkinson's all on board with Goff. I mean, he doesn't really have a choice, I guess.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he doesn't have to give him glowing compliments either.
Well, first off, I want to say this. I'm not right on the field, of course, so I can't really, look into somebody's eyes. But I can I feel like I can read body language. And Goff looks like he's all business. A lot of the guys there, everybody is there practicing hard. And, some of them are a little bit, looser, on the sidelines and as they go through the drills. But Goff looks like he's all business. Just from the way he walks, when you see him communicating with his coaches, he just looks like he's just there to, like, that massive chip on his shoulder that we said that he might have. It looks apparent just by the way his body language is as he walks around the camp.
I love that. I love to see it. And here he is working with Mark Brunell a little bit, getting that footwork action going. Another guy that I've heard has been doing really well in camp, and I know you mentioned Williams and you mentioned Hockenson, but I've heard a lot of praise from Dan Campbell for Quintez Cephas.
Cephas looks good, too. I've seen that he's been making some great grabs, but I ain't front. I'm liking Tyrell Williams a lot.
Are you?
I'm liking Tyrell Williams. Hopefully he can stay healthy, but that's a guy that I'm like, okay, I was wondering where they were going with that, but quick, great hands. I like his route running.
I mean,
they may. I'm not gonna sit up here and say they're gonna be no playoff team. I'm not gonna go that deep off the end. It's just that I think that they're going to be better than what the pessimists think.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Tyrell Williams. He had a couple good years with the Chargers. Last year with the Raiders wasn't really spectacular, but the guy can ball. He's 6'4". He's got great speed on him. So, listen, if we put him in the position to win, and somebody's got to catch the ball, it's not like we're going to put up 0 passing yards this year. Yep. We're going to be about a 4,000-yard passing team, so he's going to get a bunch of those yards.
One guy, too, that stuck out to me, and I don't know where he came from, Jason Kabinda. He was a linebacker in college. Played at Penn State.
Who's at the fullback?
Yeah, the fullback. But he was a linebacker at Penn State, third team All Big Ten in 2016, went undrafted. Now he's the fullback of the Lions. You see this guy up close. This guy is impressive. He's an athlete, and I think that's why he was able to go from linebacker to fullback. He's an athlete, very quick. He caught a couple of good passes. I like his hands, so I'm curious to see how they're going to use him in the offense, and then whether he makes it. I don't know if he's going to sign on what kind of deal he signed on. I'm trying to figure that out, but if he makes the team, they have an athlete out of him.
And I'm an old school guy, so if we got a fullback on the roster, yeah I'm full.
Corey Schlesinger, baby.
Oh, man. I love fullbacks. Like, that's when you're playing a complete game. We grew up here in Michigan with Michigan football, the ground and pound, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And I know the game's evolved past that. But when you need to punch somebody in the mouth and you got a fullback like that, like Juszczyk, you use them and you punch them in the mouth.
This dude looks like he could punch somebody in the mouth and then some. He looks like a mean guy. Like he's 6'1", but he's a brick. It's like, I can't describe it. I believe I was talking with one of the writers yesterday, and we were just like, this dude looks like a freak, and he's like, yeah.
So you were able to catch up with Dan Campbell yesterday as well?
Yes, I asked him about I believe I asked him about Deuce Staley.
Okay.
And what Deuce Staley brings to the team as far as a head coach, and he just the word juice is being thrown around a lot between Deuce Staley, Dan Campbell, and Jamal Williams. I guess that's the new word of the Lions minicamp, juice. And he was just, I don't know if we have that clip ready, but he was just talking about what Deuce Staley brings and the intensity.
Yeah. What do you mean juice in what context? Like
as far as
like the movie? Like you got the juice now?
No, not that juice, but as far as just leadership, being vocal with the players, being very demanding in what he's expecting, and just talked about how much of an asset he is.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. And Alex, I just sent you the clip if you wanna download that and play it. But yeah, I like that term juice. I like the energy, and I love the fact that we were able to interview Jamal Williams, and you said during the interview, fun guy, really entertaining, but between the white lines, all business.
Oh yeah, and yesterday, no different. He looks like a guy. He's a guy that picks his spot when he plays around, because yesterday he was a little bit more playful, but it was just more so like when teammates did good on the drills, or like during the 7-on-7 somebody made a great catch, he was just hyping them up. But when he's running his drills, when he's doing his bag drills, it ain't no laughing, it ain't no joking. He's all business.
Yeah. Well, Kory was able to catch up with Dan Campbell, and here's what that conversation went like.
Hey Dan, how's it going this morning?
Real good.
Hey, Kory Woods, Woodward Sports. So yesterday I observed Deuce Staley out there being really vocal, especially the running backs, just really on him and demanding. I know it's really early on right now, but can you just talk about how instrumental Deuce has been to what you guys are trying to implement?
Yeah, I mean, Deuce there's a reason why I wanted him here, and it's look, there's a lot to it, and it's like I said before, he's high energy. He's done it. He's got he's an excellent fundamental coach when you're talking about technique and all those things, but he does a great job in the perspective of the running back when it comes to your reads, carrying the football, as it pertains to protection. Man, he's outstanding with those things. Working with the offensive line, telling those backs, man, these are the calls. This is where it's going. Understand you got to start here. You're working left to right, right to left, knowing where the mic point is, blah, blah, blah. And so and then on top of that, man, he brings juice to the practice. I mean, we talked about energy, but he really gets it going. And, if you don't bring some type of energy as coaches and players, really, you hope that they begin to feed themselves. But if not, it's our job as coaches to feed the wolf. And or I guess I should say feed the lion, if you will. Then you're just going to have another day. You'll just be out there going through the motions. So there's always got to be some type of competitive spirit, energy that's been injected into the practice from somebody. And Deuce does an outstanding job of that because the defense hates him. So that's already a step in the right direction.
I love that. The defense hates him, so it's a step in the right direction. That's what you want. You want competitiveness within the squad, and then once you get on the field, you're all one team and beat the hell out of whoever's in front of you.
And one thing about Deuce talks a lot.
Does he?
He
like smack?
Smack, and he's loud, and he talks a lot of shit.
I mean, he was one of the most competitive players from his past as a running back when he was playing. So that's the thing is, if you could have that mentality and lead this team in the right direction and make them leaders amongst men like that, that's going to be the difference factor that we can have in this team.
Well, Kory, you're going back out today, right?
Going right back out today. I don't know if I said this yesterday, and if I did, excuse me. Just so much going on, but day by day, I'm learning different things about how this season, not how this off season, I should say, is different from last season. And the vibe I'm getting from different players, different media people, even former players, everybody is happy to be there. It's a different vibe at the practice facility. Everybody's all smiles, even when they're getting grilled hard. Everybody's all smiles. So, and like I said, I was talking to one former Lions player yesterday who was in attendance, and I was just asking him, to break down some of the stuff that I was looking at as far as one of the drills with the linemen, and he said that he was just happy to see what was going on. And I'm like, ask him, elaborate a little bit more, and he said from what he's seeing right now, as far as how their technique is, as far as shedding blocks and whatnot, he didn't see that last season. He said last season he understands that under Matt Patricia, era, that they were doing different practices, as far as scheme and whatnot. But right now, what he's looking at is they're being more fundamentally sound. And he said it's kind of crazy that you're saying that professional athletes have to be retaught this, but they're kind of like relearning technique. And he was loving what he was seeing. And I'm like, I just put my head in I was just like, he said, I know it's crazy to hear, but they're, at least from a practice standpoint, they look better than last year.
No, listen, the devil's in the details always. Like, if you're not getting your angles right on your blocks and you're not getting your leverage right, it doesn't matter how strong you are. The guy with the better leverage is going to win. So, I don't want to throw it back to Rod Marinelli, but that was Rod Marinelli, a sharp shovel and a hard will and, technique, pad level and all that stuff. It's very important. It can't be everything, but it's definitely, if we don't have the basics, we're not going to win at all. So,
and the thing is, it makes me wonder how the hell did Patricia get the job if the current players, former players, and former Lions greats are all saying that these guys are learning totally different than they ever have before.
He got the job. It was buddy ball,
I mean,
man.
I know, but it's just...
Adam didn't believe me when I said it was buddy ball, but no, like, Quinn and Patricia sat in the back of those film rooms when they were both on the Patriots. This isn't me making this up. It's well known that they, had an agreement. Whoever, when you were a GM, I'll be your head coach, and that's what happened. That's why they threw out the best head coach the Lions have ever had and brought in Matt Patricia, because buddy ball, and buddy ball never works. This is business, baby. You bring in the best, doesn't matter if they're your friend or not.